drought, a complex and devastating natural disaster, has intensified over time due to climate change and human activities, particularly impacting agriculture. Understanding agricultural drought vulnerability is crucial to effective risk mitigation. While various evaluation methods have advanced, challenges persist in terms of indicator selection and interpreting vulnerability indices. Agricultural drought vulnerability curves allow for the quantitative assessment of crop vulnerability and loss estimation under different drought levels, utilizing crop growth models to quantify the relationship between drought severity and yield losses. Widely used models aid researchers in this evaluation. DSSAT, a popular crop modeling platform, considers daily factors like water, nitrogen, and sunlight for crop growth. However, it is employed mainly to model irrigation effects and climate risks, lacking sensitivity to water stress when constructing crop drought vulnerability curves. We improved the moisture sensitivity of the CERES-Wheat model to improve its simulation accuracy of winter wheat under water stress. Then we assessed drought intensity in the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region and constructed a gridded vulnerability curve. Transpiration is one of the most important mechanisms for plant water transport, considering the influence of soil moisture on transpiration and photosynthesis. By coupling the stress mechanisms of soil moisture on plant transpiration and photosynthesis, and utilizing the relationship between actual soil moisture effectiveness and the critical soil moisture effectiveness affecting photosynthetic production, a factor assessing the impact of water stress on photosynthesis was constructed. Spatial grid-based simulation using the CERES-Wheat model was employed to simulate the growth of wheat within the study area. Water stress is considered a primary factor describing the intensity of drought impact, as the severity and duration of water stress collectively affect the drought stress experienced during a crop's growing season. The accuracy of the model in simulating both the above-ground biomass and the yield was improved after improving the water sensitivity of the model by embedding the effect factor of water stress on photosynthesis. The simulated anthesis and maturity stages were compared with the measured values when the genetic parameters were localized. The localized model simulated both the anthesis and maturity values close to the 1-to-1 trend line, with a correlation coefficient of 0.66 between the simulated anthesis and the measured anthesis. In most years, the drought hazard intensity index for winter wheat exhibited a high trend in the southwest and a low trend in the southeast. Based on the corrected genetic parameters, the modified CERES-Wheat model was used to simulate the growth of winter wheat in each grid under both adequate irrigation and no irrigation scenarios. The vulnerability curves for the different partitions were fitted using a logistic approach based on the 48-year DHI and the corresponding yield loss rates. The distribution of the drought intensity in the other subzones was similar, except for subregions 1 and 12, and that the drought hazard indices were within the range of 0.4 to 0.6. Based on the drought intensity indices under different return periods, the yield loss rates of winter wheat due to drought under different return periods were plotted in combination with the constructed drought vulnerability curves, to assess the drought vulnerability of winter wheat. Overall, the drought risk index decreased from west to east and from north to south, under different return periods, and the drought risk was higher. This indicates that the precipitation levels in the study region are not sufficient for normal winter wheat growth levels, and artificial irrigation is necessary.